Hello everybody, welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus with me, Flik. We're still trying to do Judas runs. I'm not on stream or anything though. We might need to restart a couple of times depending on how it goes. That is not Judas, that is Judas. We've done Baby Mega Satan amazingly. Alright, let's jump in. This episode is dedicated to Alana. Thank you very much for your support on Patreon last month. Curse of Darkness. Good start. Well, might not stick with it, but T2GGRSRA. It's a pleasing seed to say. Unlike that sentence I just did. Last time we were playing as Judas, the run where we were on stream, it turned out to be a pretty decent, interesting, synergistic run, but we only managed to get one of the two pieces of the key, so we couldn't fight Mega Satan even though... okay, that's good. Even though we would have won. Well, we did win. We would have beat Mega Satan if we had to fight him, is what I'm saying. It would not have been an issue. So, that hurt. It hurt because it was a hollow victory. We weren't looking for the win, we were looking for a very specific win condition. And we didn't get it. That's okay though. I do have other things to talk about, and please don't click off the video if you're sick of hearing me talk about Netflix things, because it's nothing to do with that. I've exhausted, across various videos, my current backlog of everything I've watched on Netflix, documentaries, TV shows, movies. That'll probably change because tomorrow for me is my day off, so I'll no doubt end up watching something. But, oh, there's a sacrifice room. We need 10 spirit hearts, please. Can you make that happen? But, no, I've not watched anything since the last time I talked about it. Worth mentioning, anyway. That I haven't already mentioned somewhere else. Sunday is an important day. This specific Sunday is an important day. General Sundays, they're kind of important. I guess if you go to church, they're very important. But I mean, specifically, they're my favourite day for going a morning walk, even though the dog still doesn't like them. But it's so quiet out and about on a Sunday because there's just nobody wants to do anything. You barely meet anybody, if anyone at all. Angry Fly's not really worth it. Number one is a big risk. A big risk. I'm still going to risk it though. Yeah, it might have been a mistake just because there's so much more opportunity for an enemy to get point blank and murderize me. Spirit Heart? Or Tinted Rock is what I meant to say, but a Spirit Heart. See, I really love going Sunday morning walks because it's just everything is so quiet. The only other time of week / year you get that is like Christmas Day, New Year's Day, you know, that kind of thing. And it's so relaxing to just hear nothing. I think you would go stir crazy if you always had nothing, but just in little bits, just not utter silence because you still hear the birds and stuff, but just the lack of people noise, car noise. It's relaxing to me. How about 1 penny so I can get a spirit heart from the shop? Thank you. There's still got to be a spirit heart in here, of course. Well, I guess I'll buy a key for the next floor then. That could have gone better. Judas, wipe that smirk off your face, you could be about to die. Because I believe if they touch me at all, I die. Oh, I got a spirit heart from the boss though. Never mind, it's back on. All stats up, please. Or Squeezy, or the Rosary. Something that gives me a bunch of spirit hearts so I can go play the sacrifice room a couple times. Okay. Very nice. I don't want my deal with... Give me a second, I'm debating things. Well, we're not going to get magic much, that's for sure. Didn't even get any money. Because I can obviously play it once and we'll lose our Spirit Heart, which means we'll lose our safety for the deal with the devil on the next floor. But we kind of want to get our first deal with the devil so I can say no to it, so that then we also have angel deals in place. I think my smartest bet here is to go down with the Spirit Heart maintained. But to go back to what I was mentioning, this specific Sunday is important. I'm going to spoil when it is. It's September 16th. And that is important because this is the date that YouTube reads that on or before this date, although I think it might get thrown off given that it's a Sunday and not a business day, my channel will be forcibly severed from my multi-channel network because I forcibly blocked them out of having any connection. I think I went through the reasons before, didn't I? I mean, beyond the fact that multi-channel networks do literally nothing. A good pill to know we have in our rotation. My specific network didn't answer emails for a month and a half. No, wait, no longer than that now. It's been like 2.5 months. the whole back-end system they used to have for people under their network to talk to them, it got closed down. After Disney bought Maker, they had no idea what to do with any of it once they realised they couldn't sell any of the content to TV networks because it's just not possible. And then I looked at their Twitter account, which I definitely remember mentioning in this series, tweeted at them twice, being like, hey, I contacted you via email, via the only contact email you gave me, and didn't hear back. What's up with that? Didn't realise at the time the Twitter account in question, the only Maker Twitter account, hadn't been updated in a year. Literally a year. Not an exaggeration, it was literally a year, because I believe I was checking it in August, and they had not tweeted a reply to anybody since August the previous year. So that leads me to believe, genuinely, that they just closed shop, and I know they released most people. Maybe what they actually meant to do... There's an item room on this floor I've missed. We're going to do the boss first since we have the Spirit Heart. And the idea here is walk away. Just walk away. So I honestly think they have, like, Disney's just shelved Maker everything. Some people maybe got left in the system, and as a result, didn't get separated when they should have. Pardon me. But we can take these and then just walk away. Judas' Shadow obviously would have been lovely, but that's not what we're doing here. So by end of business today, or presumably by end of business on Monday, because I don't think YouTube does anything on Sundays to be... I mean, it makes sense because it's not a business day. I was going to deride them slightly, but it's not a business day. You shouldn't expect them to be doing office stuff on a Sunday. And then multiple things will happen once this goes through. Multiple things will happen and multiple things could happen. What will definitely happen is that my YouTube channel becomes demonetized once I don't have a multi-channel network attached to it, and then I have to set up my own AdSense and get it approved through that process, of which there is a huge queue, as I understand it. So for a while there'll be no ads on my videos at all. They won't be monetized because I can't monetize them until I get approved. That could take a whole bunch of time. So the 10% of you that aren't using any kind of ad blocker will not see any ads anyway. Okay, excellent. So that part will definitely happen. I'm hoping that I don't have to wait too long given the background trust stat I've built up with YouTube, but who knows given how shady things are there right now. It's also not a big hit to income because not really earning much on YouTube at all anymore thanks to it falling apart. Someone was in stream last night saying they thought I hadn't uploaded a video to YouTube for over a month. That's how you know your goddamn system is broken. Because I know I've been uploading 2 a day. In fact, for the last month, because Spider-Man had a slot to fill, been uploading 3 videos a day. And they were very surprised to learn that. Have I actually had the item room on this floor and I'm just like spacing on it? Because if I did, what did I get? Because number 1 and Magic Mush were from the previous floor, Small Rock was from a Tinted Rock, and the Blue Cap was from the boss. A lot of Tinted Rocks on this floor. I hate not having a map, because that's how you get back out to the boss. Have I actually just spaced on it because I was too busy talking again? Like that time where I was standing in a sacrifice room and said there was no sacrifice room? I was very impassioned about how much I hated The Amazing Spider-Man 2, okay? That is a really bad film. And it's not just because it's a bad movie in general, it's because it's specifically a very badly done Spider-Man movie. They had no idea what they were doing. But I'm not going back over that again, otherwise I won't be paying attention. So that's the definite part that will happen once this separation occurs. It's got to be off of the big room with the spikes, right? I've got to have missed a door there because I've searched all the way down here multiple times. This is ridiculous. Alright, up we go. So what may happen is if Disney/Maker is in fact still operational, they will be able to take grievance with me forcibly. Oh yeah, we did have it. Oh, it was Yum Heart and I didn't take it. I remember now. I remembered. They might take grievance with me severing the contract prior to its time. I did. Like, the emails I was sending them was asking, hey, when can I get out of this contract? Didn't answer me, which is suspicious in and of its own right. I feel like I have enough weight in argument that I can definitely fight my corner. I tried to contact them through multiple methods to learn when I could leave. I gave them ample opportunity to reply, and they didn't, leading me to believe that they had ceased business. And the final email I sent to them did say, if you don't reply to this within 2 weeks, I am going to assume that you have ceased business, and we will be freed from our contractual obligations. Which I don't think is unfair. But they may take issue and come after me. I read the contract prior to initiating the break. They're very, very unspecific with breaches of contract. Like what it might imply or mean. Honestly, if they wanted the YouTube channel, they could have it. It's not doing any good for me. Starting over on the YouTube side would be an interesting experience. And it wouldn't do anything for them regardless. It would just be out of spite if they did try and take it from me. But they might also try and take cash from it, either in the short term or forever. And in those scenarios, I would also have to start a new YouTube channel. Again, not particularly bothered if I had to do that. But if they do get back in contact and be like, hey, what's up with that? The gall of doing that would infuriate me, considering they've done literally nothing for me in over 4 years. I got changed down from Polaris to Maker 4 years ago. I double checked. It's not a good idea to take Chaos because then the key pieces won't be key pieces, right? So I'm going to have to leave that. Would have loved it. Well, I don't want Blue Candle. Actually, I do want Bog Off bombs because we need to make sure we have bombs for the angel statues. I will take that. And that'll do. We have to hold on to the one bomb we have. I'm going to backtrack. The boss is probably above us, but I'm going to backtrack to see if we have a sacrifice room. The one thing my network ever did for me, and that was Polaris, not Maker. Maker was kind of like where they put the people they just wanted to steal money from. Polaris was the people who were a little bit bigger and had a bit more oomph and pull on YouTube. I don't know how I managed to end up getting in there given the size of my channel, but still, let's ignore that part. It was thanks to Polaris that I got the Monster Hunter collabs with Dodger, which is the one and only thing they've ever set up of any significance. In fact, not even of any significance. Literally the only thing they ever set up for me. No, wait, no. They did do one other thing. They got a collab with another British YouTuber when we both covered Starbound? Is that what it was called? Like the mix of Terraria and Minecraft? So they did get me that. Nothing came of that, but they did get me that. Although I think I might have been in... That was very specifically because I was friendly with the UK rep. He didn't have much pull, but he was a friendly guy and I talked to him a little bit on Skype. So that might have been what helped me along. But yeah, prior to that, just the Monster Hunter thing with Dodger. They did literally nothing else except take 20% of my earnings for doing literally nothing. Of which, as I'm always keen to remind you, YouTube already takes the lion's share. They take 55%. So they were taking 20% of 45%. Which, if you're not earning anything on YouTube, or relatively speaking you're not earning anything, doesn't really make much of a difference. But hey, back when Overwatch was in its prime, and I was getting like 500,000 views a day, they were getting a big cut of cash for doing literally nothing. And that really grated me. The thing that always put me off initiating separating is because they try so hard to keep you. And they just badger you. That, and I thought that if I did leave, I knew about this queue. The queues existed for a long time because everybody wants to monetize now. I'd have to wait for a long time to remonetize, and that was at a time where it wouldn't be a good idea because the channel was doing so well. I'd be doing myself out rather than them. Damn, I was hoping that'd be a sacrifice room. So I didn't do it back then, but this is the perfect time. It seems like they're not even operating business rather. They've done nothing for me and I'm earning nothing on YouTube, essentially speaking, or relatively speaking. So now is the time to initiate. That's why I wanted to get split from the contract legitly. They ignored that, so now I've just forcefully separated them from the YouTube site. You didn't used to be able to do that, incidentally. Ah, sacrifice room. I don't know what my HP is, son of a bitch. Oh, I just used my only bomb. Well, we definitely have enough to like play it a couple of times. That was a black heart, so I knew I still had at least one more spirit heart. Now we have less red hearts. Because our deal with the angel chance went down there. How many red hearts did I have? Curse of the unknown health might have just screwed me. I thought I had 1 more HP than I did. Oh, you know why? Because I got hit in that other room and didn't internalize that I'd got hit. Okay, well that's potentially very dangerous. Can't get that. I need this bomb. Our tiers are strong enough that having this doesn't particularly matter. God damn it. I just leave that on you, thanks. What was I saying? I think I about covered it. More or less. I'm interested to see what will happen. I'm interested to see if I get contacted by them. And what stance they will take. I imagine they'll just take a very dry approach. Very matter of fact, like, hey, you broke contract, so I don't know, we own your channel now or something. Whatever. Multi-channel networks are a con. They've always been a con, except if you were in one of the few countries in the world that didn't let YouTube monetize. That was the only exception where they were at all relevant. And there was a period where networks were cropping up every other week because it was free money. You told YouTube channels, hey, you have access to this music library and we seek out advertisers who have higher CPM than the ones YouTube gives you. Then they don't really do anything and you still just get YouTube's ads and you have no way of proving it. It makes it look like they're doing something when actually they're doing nothing. And then they just sit back and take... Well, the normal cut for some of the dodgier networks was 40 or 50%. They were taking up to or almost half of 45% of people's earnings. Those poor channels that did deals like that, they were conned. In the truest sense of the word, they were absolutely conned. Thankfully, in that regard, Polaris/Maker, they didn't try and con people. I would say they still asked for too much for doing too little because they didn't do anything. But they didn't go as brazenly as wanting to take that much. Maybe they didn't have the balls, who knows. Does Blue Baby's only friend not explode barrels? Because that's what I was trying to do there. Just so I had a corner clear. Thank goodness I found Twitch. Well, I mean, Twitch has existed for ages, but I guess the real way to say it is thank goodness I got an internet connection capable of allowing me to stream. Because if I was still just doing YouTube, then I wouldn't still be doing this. I'd still be doing it on and off as a hobby, but I wouldn't be doing it as a living, and certainly not as consistently. I believe it was the year 2016 where in a vlog I said, look, this is the make or break year, I'm going to start doing Twitch this year. If it doesn't make a big enough difference, I can't carry on. Oh, interesting. And then we started doing Twitch, and then Overwatch obviously succeeded as well, and that kept me going. But we are nearing the time where, again, it's going to have to be a decision of, without YouTube, either short-term or long-term, depending on, again, how things go with the multi-channel network, is it still viable? And right now it technically is. Well, not technically, literally it is. With Twitch and Patreon rather, yeah, it is. But as much as I enjoy Twitch and as much as it stays steady, steadier than YouTube, like 100%, growth is something which escapes me on Twitch. I have no idea how to get growth on Twitch. Because on YouTube you could say, oh, just cover the big games and do clickbait videos. Oh yeah, but you can't really do that on Twitch because it's rated by viewership. So if the big streamers are playing, like for instance, the new hotness right now is the Call of Duty Battle Royale. All the big streamers are playing that. So if you're a small streamer also trying to play that, you're not really going to get any traction from that. And then at the same time, if you're playing something super niche, like some old SNES game or some indie game with a small following, that's not going to get you a massive viewership either. You've kind of got to hope that people find you and give you a try and then stick around because of your personality. And for multiple reasons, that isn't necessarily how things work. And I've always said in these videos, or maybe mostly in the Inside Baseball episodes of Gungeon, whereas I can feel like I can give confident advice about YouTube, although maybe not so much anymore, on Twitch side, I'm still learning it. I've only been on the site for 2 years, as opposed to, Christ, is it almost 9 years on YouTube? It is? Jesus. So I feel comfortable with the things I say about YouTube because I know how the site works. I don't like how the site works, but I know how it works. But on Twitch, even 2 years in, I'm surprised I have any viewership at all. The first stream I ever did on Twitch, I'd already had a leg up because I had a YouTube channel, so I had like 13 people. That's not starting from zero, so it's probably not even fair to compare to someone starting fresh and wanting Twitch to be their main thing. I totally forgot we had Taurus because it's never came into play yet. Like, ideally what you want to do is not try and make it on Twitch. If you want to make it on streaming, find a competitor to Twitch that has some chance of traction and try and become one of the best people on there. But at the same time, Twitch is so gamer-centric that it's ideal. And that's the annoying part. It's ideal, so everyone goes to it, thus there isn't as many viewers going around to split across. It's important to remember, though, that your time zone will never match up with everybody else's time zone. So while I look at my viewership when I'm live, and sometimes I'm like, oh, that's a shame. Like, I wish this was more popular, or I wish I was more popular, depending on whether or not it's me or the game that's the problem. Although I think in cases of like Monster Hunter, I think it's the game's fault, mostly. Because I honestly think during the Monster Hunter games, we have the best banter. So I think it's the game that puts people off in that instance. But probably not always. But then, after a stream, I usually go and sometimes I have to cut up the VOD if I want to take something out of it for like a highlight, or if I just want to check to make sure nothing got muted if I played a new song during the ad or something. I can see how many people watch the VOD after the fact. And that's always surprisingly high for how few people show up for the stream. And I guess that's because my time zone just is a piss poor matchup for a lot of other places in the world. Which is a very great shame. But I spoke before about like if YouTube did disappear entirely, I'd increase the amount of time I'm streaming, but I'd rather hold off until Sora was a bit older. But I would definitely be retreading old ground because I remember very specifically talking about that before. I'm pretty sure it was in Isaac as well. Not going like, oh, I'm going to start doing 8-hour streams a day, because I think that's a very quick way to get burnt out. Hey, growth hormones is very good. What have we got here? The Bible is not very good, but thanks for the progress towards Bookworm. And more importantly, thanks for half a key piece. I can see myself, like, if I got very into streaming and I didn't have obligations like a puppy to look after. If Sora was fully grown, she got a bit lazier. You know, like a year, well, dogs don't calm down until at least 2 years old. I remember people kept on telling us, oh, Maya's very hyper, because she's a very hyper, or she was a very hyper puppy. Don't worry, she'll calm down like age 2. She's almost 13 and hasn't calmed down yet. She's slower, thanks to arthritis, but she ain't any calmer. So who knows, maybe Sora will remain as needy and attention-seeking forever. Nope. We have Cuban meat, so we do have a Taurus synergy that I haven't been able to take advantage of because the bloody thing's never activating. We need to find a speed up. Yeah, you're gonna all blow up, I'm afraid. Might as well take Wiggly Itchy. And there's a heart in here, so that's good information if there's a sacrifice room. I don't know if I annoyed anyone on stream the other day by doing this, but we were playing, whatever, Spider-Man, something like that. And Sora was being particularly rambunctious. This is like, oh, there's a sacrifice room. Okay, we need to try and generate some health then. She was making a lot of noise and someone said, well, why don't you just lock her out of your office? And I got my back up a little bit because that's cruel. It's just me and her. She knows I'm here. If I locked her out of the room, how does that make it any better? She's going to like scratch the door or cry at the door. And all that's going to do is make me feel like a bastard for doing it to her. So I wouldn't say impolitely. I stated if you don't like it, you can always leave. Because I care about my dog more than my viewers. And that's true, I do. I don't think that's a very nice thing to say, but it's the truth. If I had to choose between my viewership on Twitch and my dog in any kind of life-threatening scenario, I would choose my dog. You know, best friend, companion for life and all that. But saying it in that way was probably a bit harsh. There was probably a softer way to say it. Like, let's try and be diplomatic. I'll think of something sooner or later. It would be cruel for my dog to know I was here, but locked out of the room she spends most of her time in that also has her toilet in. There, that would have been a nicer way to say it, and it's true. Zara is still so scared of being outside, despite being over 9 months old now, that she will still 99% of the time only go to the toilet on the layers of puppy mats I keep in my office. That is the only place she'll do it, 99% of the time. But that's a lot of explanation for something which I would argue I don't have to justify myself about, necessarily. Because that is the bottom line of Twitch and YouTube. If you don't like something, somebody, the game, or atmosphere, or anything else, you can find someone else who you do prefer. That's not always good for the person in question, but it's good for the viewer. Black hearts, please. Am I going to have to just place a bet that I get another angel deal? We're early enough that it can happen, because I don't want to lower my health too much more, because our health is not looking particularly amazing. That helps. But do I want to go waste some of it on the sacrifice room? I think I'm just going to place a bet on trying to get angel deals. We've had one, we just need one more. And it's a 62% chance on any roll that we get a deal. That's pretty good. It'll go up if we get the... No, wait, no, the rosary just guarantees the Bible, never mind. If I change my mind, like if we get full health or something, there might be other sacrifice rooms. Nope, we actually did it. Sacred Heart. Are you kidding? This is on. 37 damage. Holy hell. What did I do to deserve this generosity game? Alright, Mega Satan's happening. We just have to stay alive. The trick with getting a lot of damage like this is don't assume you're invincible, because you're not. Still got to be concerned about taking damage because we have no way to generate more HP specifically. But we're going to be up at like 50 something when I use Book of Belial. That's real damage right there. And I hope I guess right about where the boss is. Blah, blah, blah. So what we got working for us here, we've got Sacred Heart, number 1, Pupilla Duplex, Growth Hormones, the Mark, Small Rock. Anything else in terms of... We've had a lot of damage ups. Magic Mush. Yeah, I did guess right. Yeah, we've got a lot of good things working for us. Because we have number 1, if we were to get Rubber Tears, or, you know, the ones that consume shots. That's not Rubber Tears, that's the ones that bounce off walls. 45 damage. Not quite the 50 I thought. Yeah, you are a tanky boss. Until you become Chub and then you're nothing. Well, there's more HP. That is fine by me. Down we go. Things are going to speed up now. For sure. Now, let's see. It's got to be bottom left, right? I mean, yeah, I'm going to place a bet that's bottom left, but it could be top left. It's annoying that it's potentially likely. Why not? We have room for the HP. We'll take it. And as I thought, Blueberry's only friend didn't really play into things at all. And actually, despite missing an item room because it had Yumheart in it, we've become this strong. So we got very lucky with our angel deal items. We didn't take any devil deals. The only one we saw had Judas' shadow. Hey, it is right. Alright. You should not be much of a problem. Unless one of your children faces doesn't come near me. There we are. I'm killing slower thanks to Taurus. That's not usually how this works. Ooh, we got access to Hush and Delirium. No thank you. I'm aiming for Mega Satan. So if we get this done with Judas, we need... Oh, we did Lilith. We need the Forgotten, Forsaken, whatever he's called. And there's one more, right? We did Blue Baby because I saw that at the top of the episode. I think I've done it with the... Oh, Lazarus. So Lazarus will probably be the next one we focus on. Speed down. That hurts, especially because we've Taurus, but whatever. And rooms like this where I'm literally too slow to get through without getting damaged. Because the room isn't well thought out. But we should have a... Oh, double key room. Sure, why not? It's a run reroll. No thank you. We found Isaac super fast. We've got enough bombs I can try for a second secret room. Okay, well if I get hit a bunch on Isaac, I'll come back there. I have to get close to him, that's the problem. He's done. Oh, he would have been done had Taurus not kicked in. Right, I still got him. Okay, let's just grab that heart just in case it ends up mattering, because I'd like to go straight for Mega Satan, but I guess if we get really bad items in our chests, we could do a little bit of clearance. So we don't have that many hits and our range is really bad. Take point 5 is fine. There's another syringe for speed and range, which both are what we needed. I'd like to get a charge of the Book of Belial, obviously, so let's try that first. Oh, we've got a yellow P laser, which is just adding to our damage and is wonderful. Milk, that's just tears up once I get hit once, right? So that's fine. And there's our charge. Alright, let's give this a go. Give it the old college try, as they say. Stay still. Oh, my speed is going up during this cutscene where I can't move? Come on now. Alright, Taurus wasn't much use, unfortunately. Wow. Had some pretty big pupilla duplex dealies. Wow. We're just ripping their anuses apart. That's right, pupilla duplex aims for the butt. Jesus. This was, without a Chaos card, this could end up being the fastest Mega Satan kill I've ever had. And I've had stronger runs, because I've been on Mega Satan with like quad shot Epic Fetus. But this still feels faster because there's a pretty big delay before the missiles fall with the Epic Fetus. He's done. That was amazing. No thank you, Delirium. So we got Brown Baby. It's a co-op baby probably, so it's irrelevant. Let me just double check who I need. So it should just be Lazarus. Yeah, Lazarus. Oh, well, the Lost, but I can't do that until I have Holy Mantle for him at least. The Lost and Forgotten. Lazarus, Lost, Forgotten, yes. We're almost there. Did you just... No, you didn't need Delirium. I've done Delirium with everybody except the Lost, and that's it, in fact. Alright, that was a good one. Thank you again to Alana for their support, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta for now.